Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Saturday, June 21st. Today we will continue to have significant weather conditions and fire potential concerns over the southern and eastern portion of the Great Basin, anywhere from southern and eastern Nevada eastward across much of the southern two-thirds of Utah, where strong, gusty winds of 40 to 50 miles per hour or higher will occur with single-digit relative humidity, increasing fire potential on our existing incidents and also on any new starts. As a cold front moves through the region, we will have significantly colder temperatures across the northern and western half of the Great Basin, along with some scattered showers and thunderstorms. This could produce some new snowfall in the higher elevations of central Idaho, and there are some winter weather advisories in effect. So again, significantly cooler, higher humidity, and some showers and thunderstorms. We will still have some breezy winds further west, closer to these areas, but again, humidity will be increasing as the cold front approaches and moves through. By Sunday, the cold front sweeps across the north, so we will have cooler weather really in nearly all areas, with the exception of parts of the far south and eastern region of Utah, where we will still see some breezy winds and single-digit relative humidity, although winds will not be as strong as what we'll see today. Also, some scattered showers continue across the north and will taper off as we get into Monday with continued cooler temperatures and some areas of higher humidity. Over the last 24 hours, only a few lightning strikes in the far north with very light shower activity, with much of the lightning and precipitation to our north. Great Basin fire activity has been quite active. We had 15 new fires reported for just over 2,500 acres and over 11,000 acres of new growth, which was mostly on the Connor Fire in western Nevada. Otherwise, our other large fires continue over parts of southern and southwest Utah and up into western Wyoming. Looking at our precipitation percent of normal over the last 7 to 14 days, really very dry conditions exist in all areas with the exception of over a week ago in the far south. Otherwise, any precipitation has either been non-existent or well below normal. Our ERC percentile point map shows these conditions very well with the dry and warm temperatures we've seen recently along with the wind. We are seeing ERCs above the 80th or 90th percentile, widespread across Nevada and Utah, and even many areas above the 97th percentile. Further north from western Wyoming, even back into central Idaho, we are seeing those ERCs above the 80th or 90th percentile and have been increasing, especially over the eastern half of the Great Basin, but we will see these ERCs on the downward trend at least for a couple of days with the cooler temperatures moving in and the precipitation in some areas, along with some higher humidity. Looking at some of our 100-hour fuel conditions in western Nevada and in southwest Utah, both where we have ongoing large incidents, 100-hour fuel moistures are near or at record lows for the time of year. You can see from the green forecast line, they will show some improvement as we see those cooler temperatures move in and some higher humidity, but humidity still being in the teens with very little precipitation, if any, in some of these areas. Any rebounds of the fuel moisture will be modest and just last for a couple of days. Looking at our satellite loop from this morning, you can see with the cold front moving in, we have a large area of cloud cover over northwest and northern Nevada into southwest Idaho, along with some clouds over central Idaho as well. This will continue to move eastward, and again, we are expecting those scattered showers. Otherwise, you can see a couple of areas of smoke from our ongoing incidents from western Nevada, kind of across central and northern Nevada from the Connor Fire, and then also over southern and southwest Utah from our fires down there as well. Looking at the smoke forecast with these generally west or northwest winds today over northwest Nevada or over western Nevada, we will see some of that smoke push off to the southeast before the southwest winds pick up and take it off over northern Nevada. Otherwise, southwest winds continue across Utah today and become more westerly or west-southwesterly on Sunday. Looking at our weather pattern for later today, you can see the area of low pressure and cold front moving into the northern areas, along with increasing moisture, but still very dry and windy conditions out ahead of this cold front. So again, we have a large area of high risk for gusty winds or strong winds and low relative humidity over much of eastern and southern Utah back into southern Nevada. You can also see the significant fire potential tapering over the northern areas of the Great Basin with these cooler temperatures and some showers and higher humidity. The relative humidity shows this as well, with most relative humidity in the north above 25%. Even over western Nevada, we will see relative humidity more in the mid-teens this afternoon as opposed to single digits. Those low single digits will remain confined today to over southern and eastern areas, and this will also be coupled with very strong winds, as you can see on the right, with wind gusts above 40 or 50 miles per hour, very widespread across much of the southern two-thirds of Utah into southern Nevada. These will be some of the strongest winds this week in Utah. Further north, we will see still some breezy northwest winds kind of behind the front over western Nevada, impacting our large fires or any large fires in those areas, but certainly will be quite a bit weaker than what we saw yesterday. Temperatures will also be on the downward trend, and over the northern and western half of the Great Basin, temperatures will drop to around 15 degrees below normal today, one of our coolest days. Still remain warm out ahead of the cold front. However, we will see cooler temperatures region-wide soon. Precipitation, you can see over the northern half to third of the region, we will see scattered showers and thunderstorms. Could see some more widespread precipitation in central Idaho with wetting rains and even new snowfall above about 7,000 or 7,500 feet, a little bit more significant depth up there. Otherwise, very isolated showers in western Nevada with possibly a few lightning strikes. By Sunday, the cold front moves into most areas of the Great Basin, with the exception of the far south and east, so we will still see moderate fire potential over eastern Utah on Sunday with some breezy winds, but winds certainly won't be as strong as what we'll see today. Otherwise, lower fire potential in the north with that precipitation moving in with cooler temperatures, and more low to moderate fire potential over western areas as well with those cooler temperatures. On Sunday, you can still see single-digit relative humidity over the southern half of the region, although temperatures will drop a little bit even in the south, and much higher humidity up north. Otherwise, wind gusts will still remain breezy on Sunday over parts of southern and southeast Utah, with gusts in the 30 to 35 mile per hour range with those single-digit relative humidity. We don't have any high risk just because these winds will be quite a significant decrease from what we'll see today, but we'll continue to monitor the situation and could potentially have some high risk for tomorrow. Temperatures on Sunday continue to cool. This will be one of our coldest days up north, with highs only reaching the 40s and 50s from central Idaho into Wyoming, which is obviously 15 to 20 degrees below normal. Further south, we'll start to see a little bit of warming in western Nevada, but temperatures generally remain below normal region-wide. Any precipitation on Sunday will be confined to Idaho and Wyoming and possibly far northern Nevada and Utah. As we move into Monday, low pressure drops south along the California coast. This will reintroduce the potential for some thunderstorms developing in the higher terrain of the Sierra and possibly even central Nevada. Any precipitation amounts with these showers and thunderstorms would be very light, and you can still see our fire potential is still more in the low range across much of the region. Relative humidity on Monday still will remain in the single digits over southern and eastern areas, and in the teens over northern Nevada and Utah, with relative humidity starting to drop in the north but still remaining above 20%. Wind gusts really taper off on Monday but still remain somewhat breezy over parts of southern and eastern Utah, but most gusts in the 20s. Temperatures on Monday will continue to increase gradually over western areas but still remain cool and generally below normal region-wide. Any precipitation on Monday will be very isolated with the better chances of thunderstorms in the Sierra, but again, can't rule out some isolated storms over central or eastern Nevada. 3-day precipitation shows the best chance of significant precipitation up over central Idaho and northwest Wyoming, and again, this will be in the form of both rain and snow. Precipitation definitely a little bit more scattered and lighter as you move further south, with still dry conditions continuing over southern and eastern areas. As we move into next week, this weak low along the California coast gradually moves eastward. Still some isolated shower or thunderstorm potential in northeast Nevada, northern Utah, and over into eastern Idaho and Wyoming on Tuesday, but fire potential still remains relatively low in the wake of this recent cold front. You can see southern areas already start to increase in fire potential again, just because we won't see much moisture down there and relative humidity remains low despite the cooler temperatures, although winds will definitely be lighter as we go into the middle of next week. By Wednesday, still dry conditions in the south. Some showers move across the north as another low, very weak trough moves into the Pacific Northwest. This will likely kick up our Washoe Zephyr along the Sierra front by Wednesday. So after today's breezy winds, we'll have a couple of days of lighter winds before the winds pick back up again. And then significant fire potential generally remains low to moderate across the region. This continues on Thursday with the trough moving across the region with any showers or thunderstorms in the far north and very light. And you can start to see that significant fire potential rebound even over western areas as we start to see warmer temperatures towards midweek. Temperatures will return to normal with lower relative humidity back into the single digits. And then we will likely see above normal temperatures as we get into later in the week where temperatures will reach 5 to 10 degrees above normal again. 7-day precipitation doesn't look much different than the 3-day. And the 8 to 14-day outlook taking us from June 28th through July 4th shows above normal temperatures, especially up north, with below normal precipitation. Any hints of monsoon moisture will remain well to our south and mostly in New Mexico. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.